A new royal revelation has once again pulled Prince Harry, Princess Catherine, and King Charles into the spotlight, as fresh claims suggest that a single BBC interview may have deepened already fragile family tensions inside the royal family. According to royal expert Christopher Anderson, Prince Harry's comments during a controversial BBC News interview in May 2025 reportedly left a lasting impact on Princess Catherine and the wider royal household. The interview, which focused on Harry's relationship with the monarchy, his concerns about returning to the United Kingdom, and his ongoing frustrations over security arrangements, has now been described by insiders as a moment that intensified existing divisions. During that interview, Harry also spoke about King Charles's health, referencing the monarch's cancer diagnosis in a way that immediately drew global attention. One of his remarks, where he mentioned uncertainty about how long his father might have, became a particular focal point in the aftermath. While Harry's intention may have been to express concern, the reaction within royal circles was reportedly far more complicated. Royal commentator Christopher Anderson, in excerpts from his upcoming book focusing on Catherine, Princess of Wales, suggests that those words struck a particularly sensitive nerve within the family. According to the author, Princess Catherine's reaction was not one of open anger, but rather disappointment, a quieter emotional response that reflected the seriousness of the situation behind palace doors. Staff members who have worked closely with the royal family over the years have often described Catherine as calm, thoughtful, and emotionally steady, even during periods of intense pressure. One former staffer at Sandringham reportedly described her as one of the most kind-hearted members of the household, while also acknowledging that, like anyone, she has personal limits when it comes to emotional strain. What makes this situation even more complex is the timing. At the time Harry made his comments, King Charles had already been publicly diagnosed with cancer earlier that year. Just a short time later, Princess Catherine herself would also receive a cancer diagnosis, bringing her into a deeply personal and vulnerable chapter of her own life. This shared experience, according to Anderson, may have influenced how she interpreted Harry's remarks. The royal expert suggests that Catherine's perspective on the situation may have evolved significantly after her own diagnosis. Going through a serious health challenge reportedly created a stronger emotional understanding between her and King Charles, as both found themselves facing similar battles within a short period of time. Anderson explains that this shared experience of illness may have deepened Catherine's sensitivity toward comments made about health and mortality, particularly when those comments are made publicly. From her perspective, suggestions or speculation about someone's health can carry emotional weight far beyond the words themselves. According to the author, Catherine may have felt personally affected by Harry's remarks, not just as a family member, but as someone who was also dealing with her own medical journey. This emotional overlap is said to have added another layer of complexity to an already strained family dynamic. For years, Catherine has often been described as a stabilizing presence within the royal family, someone who tries to maintain balance during moments of tension. Anderson claims that she frequently attempted to act as a bridge between Prince William and Prince Harry, as the brothers' relationship gradually deteriorated over time. However, the BBC interview appears to have marked a turning point. The suggestion is that after Harry's comments about King Charles's health, Catherine's position may have shifted. Rather than continuing to act as a mediator, she reportedly aligned more closely with Prince William's view of the situation, particularly as tensions between the brothers escalated further. Prince William's reaction, according to royal insiders cited in the discussion, was already one of deep frustration following Harry's previous memoir and public statements. The interview allegedly reinforced that frustration, making reconciliation seem even more distant at that stage. One courtier is quoted as describing William's reaction as extremely intense, suggesting that the situation had reached a point where any remaining hopes of repairing the relationship were effectively shut down. In this interpretation, Catherine's change in approach is seen as significant, as she had previously been viewed as one of the few voices still quietly encouraging unity between the brothers. The author goes further, suggesting that Catherine's emotional stance evolved from attempting to repair the relationship to accepting the reality of the divide. In that context, her support for Prince William's position is described as a shift away from mediation and towards solidarity within her immediate family unit. Despite this, it is important to note that royal relationships are often far more complex behind the scenes than they appear in public commentary. While analysts and commentators frequently interpret events through a dramatic lens, the reality within the royal family is typically shaped by a combination of duty, privacy, and long-standing tradition. Christopher Anderson also argues that Catherine's relationship with King Charles has become stronger in recent years, particularly as both have faced health challenges. This shared experience is said to have created a deeper sense of understanding between them, especially regarding the emotional impact of public discussion about illness. The idea that public comments about health can be emotionally difficult for members of the royal family is not new. Given their position, even private matters often become subjects of global discussion, which can amplify stress during already challenging personal situations. Within this context, Harry's remarks during the BBC interview are viewed by some commentators as having unintentionally crossed a sensitive boundary, especially considering the timing of events that followed. While intentions may not have been harmful, perception within the family appears to have played a major role in how the situation unfolded. The broader implication of Anderson's claims is that the interview did more than just reignite media attention around the royal rift. According to his perspective, it may have reshaped internal dynamics, influencing how key members of the royal family relate to one another moving forward. In particular, the suggestion that Catherine's role as a potential peacemaker may have diminished adds a new dimension to the ongoing discussion about whether reconciliation between Prince William and Prince Harry is still possible in the near future. At this stage, the outlook remains uncertain. Anderson reportedly believes that there is no immediate path toward rebuilding the relationship between Harry and Catherine, at least not in the foreseeable future. This reflects a broader sentiment among some royal commentators who view the divide as deeply entrenched. While public interest in a possible reconciliation remains high, the reality inside the royal family appears far more complicated. Years of public statements, interviews, and personal disclosures have contributed to a situation where trust is difficult to rebuild quickly. As with many royal developments, the public is left interpreting events through limited information, official statements, and expert commentary. What remains consistent, however, is the continued global fascination with the dynamics between Prince Harry, Princess Catherine, Prince William, and King Charles. For now, this latest set of claims adds another chapter to an already complex royal narrative, one that continues to evolve with every interview, public appearance, and published account. Whether future developments will soften the current tensions or reinforce them further remains one of the most closely watched questions in modern royal reporting.